and approximation. We are going to basically concentrate on trapezium rule and the mid-ordinate rule. I will start with the trapezium rule. But before I do so, I want to bring the genesis of introduction of the trapezium rule. Why did the trapezium rule and the mid-ordinate rule was introduced? So I have a curve here. I want to calculate the area under this curve. The curve starts at 1, x is equal to 1, and ends at x is equal to 5. So this was just a curve before I divided it. So maybe I can sketch a new one. I have a curve starting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have a curve which begins here and goes like this, right? So I want to calculate the area under this curve. So when you draw a line here to where it is starting and where it is ending, this one forms a trapezium. So this is the curve y is equal to a half x squared plus 5. I can calculate the area of this, assuming that this one is a trapezium. Assuming that this one is a trapezium, we can calculate the area. How do we calculate the area of a trapezium? The area of a trapezium is equal to a plus b divided by 2 times height. So this line and these lines are parallel. We will take from here up to here. If the here is 5, and then here is, for example, we can say if the height up to the way it is reaching is which one can we take? We can take even 10, assuming that is 10. Then we will be able to calculate. So we know from here up to here is 5. From here up to here is 10. What is the height? Our height is going to be 5 minus 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is 4. So we just add, that is 5 plus 10 divided by 2 times height. Our height is this height here with it, which is equal to 4. So this is 15, this one's here twice. So this is 15 times 2, and the answer is 30 square units. But we realize that this one is very erroneous. It is very erroneous. It has a lot of error, because how would you assume that this one is a trapezium, yet it is a curve? A curve, this one is not straight. A trapezium should have a straight line. So because of the big error that is occurred during okay, look at this one. This one is a curve like this, and then we are assuming that it is a trapezium. No, that one gives a very big error. So, but when now we divide it to a small trapeziums, now look at this one. This and the distance from here now and come like very straight. Now this one is going to be more accurate. If I calculate the area of this smaller trapezium plus this plus this, the answer is going to be very, very accurate, more accurate than this one, right? So that's why now, because of this error here, we had to introduce a trapezium rule. So let us look at the trapezium rule now. The trapezium rule. How does the trapezium rule state? Area using trapezium rule is equal to a half h into y naught plus yn, you cross the bracket, plus 2 into y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus mpaka y is equal to n minus 1. You cross the bracket, you open the big bracket. Now this gives the area using a trapezium rule, that one. But now, one thing we must be very clear about is the height. How do we get the h? very important now. H is equal to H is equal to xn minus x naught divided by number of trapezium divided by number of trapezium or number of strips. When you are given use 4 strips, use 5 strips, use 4 trapezium, use 5 trapezium, you just find the value of x, the end, the final, the initial value of x, and then you subtract. You get you divide it by this. Or h is equal to xn minus x naught divided by n minus 1. Whenever we are using this formula n minus 1, what is n minus 1? N is equal to number of ordinates. When you are given that, use 5 ordinates to estimate. Whenever you see the word ordinates, 5 ordinates, 6 ordinates, then you should be able to use this formula to get the value of h. So let us look at an example. I think once we do the example, you will be able to estimate. So the x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 8. The range is 0 to 8. So x naught is the value of x, the largest value of x, the biggest number x value, that is 8. X naught is 0, the first in the range, the first number in the range. The last number in the range is the xn. The first number in the range is the x naught. So we substitute xn minus x naught is 8 minus 0 divided by number of trapezia, which is 8. And 8 divided by 8 is 1. So our h is equal to 1. Why is this important? It is important now when we are going to draw the table. So we draw now the table x and y. What is y? Y require x square. Y require x square plus x minus 6. So we draw the table of values of x, and we will get the values of x, the values of y. So you draw the table like this. So values of x, we are starting at 0. So our width itakuwa 1 1 1 because our h is 1. So the width lazima ikuwe uniform ni 1 1. So it is 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Tunafika 8 because that's where the range reaches. That's where our range is reaching. Now we need to get the value of y. How do you get the value of y? You substitute. Unaleta hii number za x, una substitute mahali unaona x kwa y. So like here we put 0 0. So the answer is going to be negative 6. You put 1 here, 1 square plus 1, that is 2, minus 6, it is going to be negative 4. So you put it all, you substitute all the way to the end. 14, 24, 36, 24, 36, 50, 66. So that now you fill the table. Now what we have here is now y naught, y1, y2, y3, y4, y5, y6, y7, and y8. That's what we have there now. Next, now is to apply the formula. The formula says area is equal to a half h into y naught plus yn, you close the bracket, plus 2 into y1 plus y2 plus y3 ikienda the way to yn minus 1. Now I want to explain yn minus 1 namaanisha nini. Y naught ni y ya kwanza, so itakuwa negative 6, ni 6. Yn ni ile ya mwisho 8, ile yenye iko kwa 8 hapa, that is the, hiyo ndio yn hii. Y8 ndio yn. So hapa tunaenda kuweka value of y8 hapa. Sawa? So yn minus 1, n is 8, so minus 1 is 7. So inamaanisha kwa hii formula tunaweka values za y hapa ndani mpaka mahali tunafika 8 minus 1. So 8 minus 1 means 7. Tunafika kwa 7 na tutaweka 8 tena. This is a half times 1, open the big bracket or small bracket, y naught is 6. Now when you are putting the numbers inside here, the formula, don't put the negative. Assume the negative because area cannot be negative. Therefore, you assume the negative. Plus 4 plus the last one is 66. You cross plus 2 into y1. y1 is negative 4, so 4 plus 0 plus 6 plus 14 plus 24 plus 36 plus 50, and that is the final. So tumefanya n the final minus 1 which is 7. So tutaenda 66 tunafika hapo. So n yn minus 1 means unafika kwa 7. Kama hapa ilikuwa 8, 9 unafika kwa 8. Kama ilikuwa 10 unafika kwa 9. That is what it means. This is the same as a half. Half times 1 is a half. So this one is 72 plus, multiply everything here. This is going to be 2 into, ukiongeza hizi zote naleta 134. Is equal to a half, big bracket, 72 plus 268. So you finish everything in the bracket before you come outside. And this one will be a half times 340. And this one will give us 170 square units. 170 square units. And that is the area. We have approximated the area using the trapezium rule. I want to do one example on the trapezium rule, and then we do another example for the midi-ordinate. In our example 2, estimate the area bounded by the curve y is equal to x squared plus 4. The x-axis and the lines x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 3. And this, once you are given, you should be able to notice is the range starting from 1, x is equal to 1 starting from 1, and the x is less than 3, unit range. Using the trapezium rule with 5 ordinates, mark that. That's where you draw a line. 5 ordinates. Now that gives you the formula you are going to use to get h. Now h in this case, we are going to find that because that's where we need to start. So h is equal to x naught minus x0, xn minus x naught divided by now number of ordinates, which is n minus 1. So now xn is equal to the final range is 3. X naught is equal to here tunaanza na 1. And then n minus 1 will be equal to 5 minus 1. So here we have 3 minus 1 over 5 minus 1. So it is 2 over 4. And this is 0.5. 2 over 4. And that is 0.5. 0.5. Now, this is our width and this is our h, which is going to guide us on how to draw the table. H is important because you're going to guide how to draw the table. So the first thing you're going to calculate in h. So x y is equal to x squared plus 4. Now, we have the values of x. We start from 1. That's where we are beginning at. So we begin at 1. But tunafaa kuenda, so mwingine atatoka hapa 1 aende 2, juu anaona ni 1, 2, 3, 4. No. What is guiding us is the height, the width. So it is 1, and the next one now will be 1.5. Yes, and then from there, 2.0. And then from here, you can put 2 decimal places. This one is going to be 2.5. And then 3.0. Because tulifaa kufika 3 was our final range. That's where we will stop. Then the value of x now you substitute here. If you substitute 1 here, it's going to be 5. Yeah? You substitute that part and 5. Because this is 1 plus 4. Yes, it equals 4. So itakuwa 5. That is correct. Itakuwa 5. And then you substitute here. That is, it will be 6.25, 8, 10.25, 10.25, and then 3 itakuwa 13. This will be our y1 naught, y1, y2, y3, y4. Go back to the formula and apply the formula now. Area, trapezium rule is given by a half h into open bracket, small bracket yn or y naught plus yn, n can start, plus 2 into y1 plus y2 all the way to yn minus 1. If that is the case, then you need to, if that is the case, now what you need to do is to do what? Is to insert the values. This is a half times 0.5. You open the big bracket. Y naught is our 5 here, plus yn is the last one, which is 13. You close the bracket plus into 2 into. The y1 is 6.25 plus 8 plus 10.25. So tutafika kwa 10 plus 12.5, that is 3 minus, you subtract 1 from to the left. So you cross and then you cross. So 0.5, this one is like 0.5 over 2 outside. Imepiga 1 times 0.5 ni 0.5 divided by 2. Ongeza hii na hii itakuwa 18 plus 2 into, ongeza hizi zote. Get the total here. Get the total inside here. And the total is 24.5. 24.5. 24.5 times 2 is 49. So we have 0.5 over 2, step by step. This times this, we have 18 plus 49. 0.5 over 2 times the total here now is 67. And this one will give, use your calculator, it will give you 16.75 square units. And that is how you get your area very comfortably like that. Very comfortably like that. Let me take you through me.net. It is the same thing. Once you have understood this one, me.net now is the simplest. It's the simplest. One example for the me.net rule. Me.net. Me.net is the simplest. Area is equal to h hakuna half kwa me.net, y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus y4 all the way to y is to n. As simple as that. This one is the simplest, doesn't have much issue. So first we need to get, how do you get h? H you will get the same way we have done. Xn minus h is equal to xn minus x naught over number of strips or number of trapezium. That's how you get h. That's how you get the h in the first, or h is equal to x naught minus xn minus x naught divided by n minus 1, where n is equal to number of ordinates. The same thing we have done, right? So I will use an example. Estimate the area under the curve. Y is equal to x squared minus 2x minus 3, and the x-axis and the lines, x is equal to -1 and x is equal to 3, using mid-ordinate rule. Mid-ordinate rule with what? With 5 ordinates. With 5 ordinates. Estimate the area under the curve. This is under the curve. Y is equal to this, and the x-axis and the lines, this is equal to that, using mid-ordinate rule with 5 ordinates. With 5 ordinates. Very important. Solution. First, get the value of h. So h is equal to x naught, xn minus x naught over n minus 1, kwa sababu nimepewa ordinates. So itakuwa 3 minus, but the other value is -1. You divide by 5 minus 1. Negative times negative is 4 over 4, and our h is 1. So that gives us the table that we are going to draw. So we need to start our table at -1. We need to start our table at -1, and then 0, and then 1, 2, like that. So these are the ordinates. But what are the mid ordinates? The mid ordinate ni ile iko katikati hapa, yenye iko hapa. Kuna hii yenye iko hapa pitu. So these are the things that we want. Hizo zenye ziko hapa katikati. So we will draw the ordinates first. X, y is equal to x square minus 2x minus 3. X, our first x starts at -1. You don't need that. What we need is the ordinate here. And then the next one will be 0, because from here we go to 0. You jump 1, and what you're jumping is the mid ordinate. Then from there 1, jump 1, or skip 1 line, and then we go to 2, 2.5, and then 3. So what I have here, these are the ordinates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ndio maana tuliambiwa 5 ordinates. Naelewana? These are the ordinates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we want the mid ordinates. So what is between -1 and 0? What is between 0 and 1? Mid. Mid ni katikati. So we are interested in the mid. So the mid here is -0.5. And that is what I want. The mid between 0 and this is 0.5. And that is what I want. The mid between 1 and 2 is 1.5. And that is what I want. The mid between 2 and 3 is 2.5. And that is what I want. So I'm going to find the values of A of y in the mid ordinates and not in the ordinates. Right? Not in the ordinates, but in the mid ordinates. So here, substitute -0.5 in the equation, and you will find that the answer is going to be -1.75. Substitute here, you will find that the answer is -3.75. Substitute here, and you will get the answer is -3.75. Substitute here, and you will get the answer is -1.75. So here, this is our y1, y2, y3, and y4. Nice. The next now, area is equal to y1 h into y1 plus y2 plus y3 all the way to yn, mahali inaishia. So our h is 1 into y1, negative assume, that is 1.75 plus 3.75 plus 3.75 plus 1.75. That is our h. Now 1 times anything that is in a bracket is that whatever is in the bracket. So 1 times something is something. So 1 times everything here. So we are 1 into the total, which is 11. So 1 times 11, the answer is 11. So the answer is 11 square units. 11 square units. So once you have calculated this one, now you can get the percentage error. You can be asked to calculate the actual area of this curve. The actual area is obtained by integration. So you integrate and get the area from negative this to this. So to get the percentage error, now there you will do, if you know how to do the percentage error. So when you integrate this curve, you will get 2x, x square minus 2x minus 3 from -1 to 3. You will get the actual, you will get the exact area. So to get the percentage area, to get the percentage error, so percentage error will be area by integration minus area pi approximation. So approximation inaweza kuwa umetumia mid ordinate ama trapezium rule. The area obtained by approximation, everything here divided by what? Divided by area by integration. By integration, that is the exact integration, and then times 100. That one will give you in fact inakuanga absolute. Hata ikiwa negative you don't care. So this one is absolute, and this one will give you the percentage. So for example, let me assume the area for integration ilikuwa, the exact area is 12.5 square units. The area by mid ordinate nimepata ni 11. So it is this minus this divided by the original, which is 12.5, and then absolute times 100. So this one will be 1.5 over 12.5 times 100, and the percentage error, you press your calc. You press your calc. 1.5 divided by 12.5, you get the answer, and then times 100. So that one will give you 12%. That's a very big huge error, but it's I'm just using an example how you will do it. This is just an example. It might not have that big the percentage in an error. So I hope this helps, and if you find it helpful, share, subscribe, give it a thumbs up you like. The figure below shows a triangle inside a circle. AB 8 cm, BC 10 cm, and AC 13 cm. Calculate the area of the triangle ABC. So tumepewa hii triangle, hatuna height. Tunajua tungekuwa na height tungefanya tu a half base times h. Lakini sasa tukipewa hii triangle ambayo ni scale in, what we do, we use Hero's formula, and the Hero's formula says that area is equal to the square root s into s minus a, s minus b, s minus c. Right? So that's what it says. So tunataka kujua s ni nini. So s equal to, you find the perimeter of, in fact the perimeter of the triangle. That is 8 plus 13 plus 10, and then divide by 2. That one gives you s, and that one is going to be 31. Divide by 2, and that is 15.5. So our s is 15.5. Now let us substitute our area equal to the square root of 15.5 into 15.5 minus, you can give, this is our A, B, C. I hope you know how to locate those things. So minus A, our A is 10, and then 15.5 minus B, which is 13, and then 15.5 minus our C, which is 8. So you will realize that this one will give you 1598.43. Ikiwa even multiplication, so this times this times this in multiplication, 75. So our area is going to be that 9.98 centimeters square. So the area is as simple as that. So ukiwa na triangle yenye side zote asifanani, you use Hero's formula. Suppose tukikuwa hii triangle ilikuwa hivi, tuko na 4, tuko na 6, na hapa tumepewa 50 degrees. So tukiwa na two sides and an angle included, it is simple. You just use a half times side sin theta, sin the angle. So ukiwa na triangle nataka area na umepewa sides mbili na kuna angle between them, you just use this. So here itakuwa a half times 4 times 6 times sin 50 and you get the answer. Find angle BAC. Angle BAC. Angle BAC. So we are looking for angle A. So we are going to use the cosine rule. We are going to use the cosine rule. So we are going to use the cosine rule to get the angle of this. I hope you know how the cosine rule states. So because we need A, we are going to start by saying that A square is equal to B square plus C square minus 2BC cos A. Now you substitute A. Our A is 10. You can see that our A is 10. So you say 10 square is 100, 20 direct, is equal to B. Our B is 13. 13 square is 169 plus C square, which is 64, minus 2BC. So 2BC, which is going to be 2 times 8 times 13 cos A. So 100 is equal to 169 plus 64. Itaenda kutupea 233 minus this times this times this, itatupea 208. 28 cos A. So let us like terms together. Hii tutaipeleka pande ingine. Itakuwa 100 minus 233 is equal to minus 208 cos A. Now we subtract here, we are going to have minus 133 is equal to minus 208 cos A. Tunataka kutoa hii namba hapa, so you divide by both by negative 208, divide by negative 208. So this one goes. Now we will have negative and negative will go, so we will have 0.6394 is equal to cos A. Cos A. Remember, negative divided by negative is positive, you should know. So to get A, you find A, angle A is equal to be cos inverse 0.6394. So A itakupea 50.25 degrees. So tumepata angle A like that. The radius of the circle. So we want to get the radius of this circle. To get the radius now, tumepata angle A ni 50.25. Tuko nayo hiyo. So what we are going to use, we are going now to use the sine rule. The sine rule. We know that A, according to the sine rule, divided by sine A will be equal to 2R, to radius. Sine A over that, but we have A, our A is 10. Sine A, that is sine 50.25. We add our A here. And everything here is going to be 2R, right? So we find this one is going to be 10, you just use your calculator, 10 divided by sine 50, the answer is going to be 13.0065, which is equal to 2R. We want radius, not the 2 radius. Therefore, we divide by 2, So the radius of the circle is going to be 6.503 centimeters. That is the radius. Next, we want to calculate the area of the shaded region. area of the shaded region is obtained by, we calculate the area of the whole circle and then subtract the area of the triangle. The area of the triangle tuko nayo hapa. So what we need now to do is to calculate the area of the circle because already tumepata radius. So which is 22/7 times our radius 6.503 square. And this one, it gives us 132.92 centimeters square. So this is the area of the circle. So shaded area equal to area of the triangle, area of the circle, area of circle minus area of the triangle. And that one is 132.92 minus 39.98. So itatupea 92.94 centimeters square. That is the area of the shaded region. A straight line L1 has a gradient -1/2 and passes through the point this. Another line L2 passes through the point this and this. Find the equation of L1 in the form of y is equal mx plus c, where m and c are constants. So we have been given the gradient of L1. We have the point, that's very simple. So gradient equal to change in y over change in x. So we take the general point, which is x and y. So the points we have is x, y, this point minus 1,3, and our gradient is -1/2. So we change in y, we say y minus 3 divided by x minus -1, and the answer is going to be -1/2. And negative times a negative is going to be positive. Positive. So we cross multiply this and that. We are going to have 2y minus 6 is equal to, this times is going to be -x. This times is going to be -1. Right? So right, 2y is equal to, ikienda hapa itakuwa -x. -6 ikifika hapa itakuwa +6. So tutakuwa na +5. Then we were told y is equal mx. So we want y to remain on the left side. So you divide by 2 every term. So our final equation will be y is equal to -1/2x plus 5/2. That is the final equation of line 1. Hence find the y-intercept of this. So whenever you write y equal to mx plus c, c is the y-intercept, m is the gradient. So for us to get the y-intercept in this equation, we just look at, this is the gradient, this is c. So y-intercept is equal to 5/2. Gradient of L2. So gradient 2, line 2 we are told inapitia kwa 1, 3, -3, 4, 5. So kitu ya kwanza tunatafuta, kuna point mbili, we must get the gradient and then find the equation. So gradient equal to change in y over change in x. So we are changing 5 minus 3. So 5 minus -3 divided by x, which is 4 minus 1. Minus itakuwa 8/3. So the gradient is 8/3 of L2. The equation of L2 in the form of this. So we want to find the gradient, the equation. So we take the general equation, the general point, that is xy. The gradient to nayo need 8/3. And then we take one of the point, either this or this, it depends umechukua gani. So let us take this one, the second. So we are going to say y minus 5 divided by x minus 4 equal to 8 over 3, which is the gradient. So we solve that, we cross multiply. We are going to have 3y minus 15 is equal to my 8x, itakuwa 8x minus 30 what? 32 minus 32. So let us like terms together. Kwa sababu tumepewa ax, so tuna make sure x itaanza, y ifuate, halafu c ndio tuweke mwisho c, 0. You must adhere to the instructions given. If you write your own way, you get 0 at the final answer. So let us kwanza hii ikikuja pande hii itakuwa, so utakuwa na 3y, hii kuja hapa itakuwa plus 32, so tutakuwa na plus 17 equal to 8x. So nataka tulete hii pande hii, so tutakuwa na negative 8x, ikikuja hapa itakuwa negative plus 3y plus 17 equal to 0. So we have written this equation the form we were told. X inaanza, y inafuata, c inafuata, halafu 0 inamalizia. So ukiona uwezi wacha hii ikiwa negative, this is as good as you introduce a negative in this equation. We will have negative 8 times negative 1, we are going to have x 8x. Negative times positive, hii itakuwa minus 3y minus 17 is equal to 0. Hata hii na hii bado iko sawa. Bado iko sawa. The equation of a line passing through a point this and is perpendicular to, there is another line that is perpendicular to line 2 and it passes through this point. So if it is perpendicular to line 2, we know the relationship between perpendicular line. So let us get the gradient of that line. Let me then call it line 3. So L3 gradient yake tutaita M3. So M3 times M2, the answer should be negative 1. But that is M3 times 8 over 3, which is this L2, the answer should be negative 1. So you realize that the gradient M3 itakuwa negative 3 over 8, the reciprocal of that. So tushapata gradient ya M3. Now it is passing through, so we are going to say y minus 5 over x minus 0. The answer is negative 3 over 8. Cross multiply, we are going to have 8y minus 40 is equal to minus 3x. So tumeambiwa in form, tumeambiwa in form, so this one can be 8y is equal to minus 3x plus 40. Nimechukua hiyo on this side. Nimechukua hiyo on this side. And then now, what else? We can do what? You can leave this here because hatukupewa instruction, or you divide by 8 everywhere. So we are going to have y is equal to minus 3 over 8x plus 5. This one is also okay, and this one is okay. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu hatukuambiwa instructions kama hii ama hii. Calculate the acute angle that L2 makes with the x-axis, the acute angle. Anytime you are asked to calculate the acute angle of a line, get the gradient of that line. Ukiambiwa calculate the acute angle of a line, get the gradient of that line. So once you get the gradient of that line, you should know that tan theta is equal to that gradient of that line, is equal to the gradient. Sawa sawa. Hiyo ndio formula. Tan theta is equal to the gradient of that line, whichever line you are given. So get the gradient of line 2. The gradient of line 2 is 8 over 3. Is 8 over 3. So we are saying tan theta is equal to 8 over 3. So to get theta, we are going to find the tan inverse of 8 over 3. Tan inverse of 8 over 3. And then you realize that your answer, theta is equal to 69.44 degrees. solve for x. Wakati umepewa hesabu kama hii, angalia the smallest base. The smallest base ni 3. Make others to base 3. Lakini ukiangalia 108 you cannot make it to base 3. So hiyo unawachana nayo, una make base 3 9 peke yake. So 9 is the same as 3 raised to power 2. Lakini kuna power ingine hapa 2x plus 1 plus 3 2x plus 1 is equal to 108. Open this one, itakuwa 3 2x plus 2 then plus 3 2x plus 1 is equal to 108. Kwa so nataka uelewe kwamba ukiandika hii namba namna hii, it simply means like this. Three 2x plus 2. Hii namba ni nini? This number is exactly the same as 3 2x times 3 raised to power 2. So wakati tulikuwa tunasoma indices, tulisema this and these are the base, these are the bases and this is the power. We call them indices, the index. When the index are the same, what do you do? Unachukua index moja, that is 3. If the bases are the same, you take one base. Kwa sababu ni multiplication, what do we do with the indices? We add. So let us add it. So base moja ni 3 and then it is 2x. Because it is multiplication, we add 2. Kwa hivyo unaona hii inarudi hapa. So inamaanisha ukiwa hapa lazima uje kurudi huku. So this one is simply 3 2x times 3 raised to power 2 and then plus 3 raised to power 2x times 3 raised to power 1 equal to 108. So you should be aware of that. So ukifika hapa, kwa sababu 108 hatuwezi andika in terms of 3, itatupea stress, hatuiguzi. Na ukifika hapa unaona kuna 3 raised to power 2x, 3 raised to power 2x. You introduce let, you say let 3 raised to power 2x be even y. Kwa hivyo mahali popote ambapo kuna 3 raised to power 2x weka y. So hapa itakuwa y times 9 because 3 square is 9 plus y times 3, the answer will be 108. So itakuwa y times 9 itakuwa 9y plus 3y itakuwa 12y is equal to 108. 12y is equal to 108. So it means y itakuwa 108 divided by 12. Na hiyo itakupea 9. Itakupea 9. But we said that y equal to 3 raised to power 2x and this y is also equal to 9. So 3 2x will be equal to 3 raised to power 3. Now the bases are raised to power 2. 9 is equal to 3 raised to power 2. Now the bases are the same. You ignore the bases. We will have 2x is equal to 2. You divide it by 2, divide it by 2. So the value of x equal to 1. The volume of two similar solid spheres are 4752 centimeters cube and 1408 centimeters cube. If the surface area of the smaller sphere is this, find the surface area of the larger sphere. So what we have here is volume scale factor. So from here we will have what we call volume scale factor. So volume scale factor will be equal to the volume of the big divided by volume of small. So this one gives us 4752 divided by 1408. This one will give us the volume scale factor, which is 27/. 8. So that one gives us the volume scale factor. Volume scale factor. But what we want first, let us get the linear scale factor. From the volume scale factor tutapata kitu inaitwa linear scale factor. We know this one is equal to volume scale factor cube root. Kwanza unafaa kujua kwamba linear scale factor cube equal to volume scale factor. Linear scale factor cube will give us volume scale factor. Sasa kama tuko na volume scale factor, tutapata aje linear scale factor? Tuna find the cube root, tunapata hii. Sawa? So meaning linear scale factor itakuwa 27/8 the cube root of that. So that means it is going to be 3/2, and that is the volume, the linear scale factor. Now, kwa nini tunatafuta linear scale factor? Tunajua kwamba linear scale factor square will give us area scale factor. Linear scale factor square will give us area scale factor. Sasa hii itatusaidia kutafuta area ya hiyo kubwa, ya hiyo sphere kubwa. Tuko na area of small ndio hii. So tunaenda kusema area scale factor equal to the area of big over area of small. But area of tuko nayo sasa, linear scale area scale factor itakuwa nao 9/4, the square of linear, the square of this. Unaelewana? Yes. Linear scale factor square itatupea area scale factor, na nimefanya hivyo. Linear ni 3/2, so area itakuwa 9/4. This one will be equal to the area of the big, which is x, we don't have, over area of small. Area of small ni 352. Sawa? So tuna cross multiply, itakuwa ni 9 times 352 will be equal to 4x. Will be equal to 4x. Now we divide by 4 both sides. This means that x is equal to 792 centimeters square. And that is it. The figure below presents a sketch of a cross-section of a solid and its edge. Complete the sketch and of the solid showing the hidden edges using dotted lines. Good. Sasa hii already tumepewa kila kitu tunahitaji. Tunajua kutoka hapa mpaka hapa itakuwa the same kutoka hapa mpaka hapa. Kwa hivyo kitu ya kwanza, na hii kutoka hapa mpaka hapa itakuwa the same kutoka hapa mpaka hapa. Kwa hivyo hapa tunaanzia hapa. Weka hii. Weka hivi. Sawa? Sio hiyo length. Kuja pande hii ikiwa imetoshana, unasimama hapa. Simama hapa. Mark hapa. Sawa? Haya, lakini unajua pia CF na B this will be the same. Kwa hivyo take this length here, put it here and mark here. So meaning from here it can, tunamaliza hiyo. Hii unasimama pale, unasimama hapa na una join na story inaisha. Hii na hii zinatoshana. Sawa? So weka rula yako hapa. Very good. So the next thing tunajua, this length CF na D this length, they are going to be the same. So take this length here. Sawa? Simama pale kwa D. Simama hapa kwa D. And mark there. Right? Lakini pia tunajua hii na CF pia itatoshana na hiyo, nimechukua hii inatoshana na hii. Lakini pia CD na f this lazima itoshane. Kwa hivyo simama hapa, rudisha hapa hivi, and then simama pale, mark. Sawa. Kwa hivyo unganisha sasa, simama pale tap mpaka pale, and then sasa tunaunganisha D, this point and D tunaunganisha namna hiyo. Good. So tumemaliza. What are we now remaining? We are remaining with the sides that are hidden sides. Very nice. Kwa hivyo kwa hii hidden side tunajua from hii mpaka hapa lazima itoshane na hii mpaka hii. Kutoka AB lazima itoshane na hii mpaka hii hapa. Kwa hivyo kitu tunafanya ya kwanza ni kuchukua length AD. Chukua length AD. Ukishachukua length AD, simama hapa kwa hii point. Kwa hii point, mark an arc like this. Mark an arc like that. Tunajua AD na hii point na hii lazima, hii is line AP na hii lazima sitoshane. So take your ruler, this protractor, a pair of compass, and mark AB. Once you have done that, take this point, simama hapa, and mark there. So now what you do, you join this point and this point here using dotted line, and then this side also using dotted line. Stand here and there, use dotted line, and then from here to this point use dotted line like this. Wow, now you see you have your figure perfect. So what is remaining? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You can give it like that. When I given the length of a piece of wire, is divided into pieces measuring 20, 24, 26, 28, 7 centimeter always remains. Find the length of the wire. So hapa you are supposed to get the LCM and then add 7. So get the LCM of all of them. That is tunaweka 20, 24, 26, 28. 2 inaenda kwa 10 mara 10. Inaenda kwa 20 mara 10, 24, 12, 13. Unaenda then next 2 inaenda kwa 10, 5, kwa 12, 6, 13 haiendi, kwa hivyo unawachana nayo, unaweka 13 venye ilikuwa 14, 7. 3 next one 2 still 2 inaenda kwa 2 haiendi kwa 5, so inabaki 5. 3 inaenda hapa 2 3, 13 inabaki the same, 7 inabaki the same. So the next number after 2 ni 3. Tunaenda 3 tunamalizana nayo. 3 inaenda 1, zingine zinabaki. The next number is 5, tunaenda hivyo. The next number is 7, the next number is 13. So after that you get the LCM as 1093. The LCM as 1093, 10, 9, 20. Kwa sababu sasa tukigawa hii na each of this one itakuwa inaisha, hakuna remainder. So to get the remainder you add 7 here. So 10, 9, 20 plus 7. So the length ilikuwa 10, 9, 7. So that sasa tukidivide by kila moja ya hizi itabaki 7. Using complete square method, kwanza tuna make sure tumetoa hii 6 hapa. How do you remove the coefficient of x square? You divide by 6 every term. You divide by 6. So tunaenda kuwa na x square minus 13 over 6x. This term, take it on the other side, we are going to have itakuwa -1 because hii itakuwa 1, itaenda hapa ikuwe -1. The second thing you remember this concept that B over 2 square equal to C. You remember that? You should remember that. So that's what you are going to use here. So x square minus 13 over 6. This is 13 ni B over B yenyewe ni 13 over 6, lakini chini kuna 2, so times 2. Hapa chini kuna hii 2. Sawa? B 13 over 6 ni B, lakini B iko over 2, na hiyo over 2 tunapiga hapa times 2 ndio inakuwa hivyo x. So what we have here, we are going to add in both sides. This one will be 169, the square of this, over 144. We go to the other side, negative 1 plus 169 over 144. 169 over 144. So this one inaisha because tumeongeza both sides. Now, but remember this one is squared. Remember that one is squared. Now next, because this one and this one are squared, tunachukua square moja, tunasema x minus 13 over 12, tunachana na x square, sawa, is equal to negative 1 plus 169. You use your calculator, you will get it is 25 over 144. Use your calc, you will get it is that way. So now the next thing we need now to remove this square here. This square tuna remove hapa by square rooting both sides. So tunaenda kufanya x minus 13 over 12 square will be equal to positive minus square root both sides 25 over 144. Tunaenda ku square root both sides ndio tutoe hii square hapa. So we are going to remain with x minus 13 over 12 is equal to plus or minus 5 over 12. The square root of 25 over 144 is this. So x itakuwa, hii itaenda on the other side, itakuwa 13 over 12, itakuwa positive, ikifuka hii cosines, itakuwa plus or minus 5 over 12. So x itakuwa ni 13 plus 5 over 12, itakuwa 2 over 12. Itakuwa 13, that is 13 plus 5, itakuwa ni 18. Itakuwa 18 over 12, or 13 minus 5 itakuwa ni 8 over 12. So we hatuwezi acha answer namna hiyo. We can simplify 6 here. 6 hapa itakuwa mara 3. 6 hapa itaenda hapa mara 2. Sawa? Or 4 here 2, 4 here 3. So we can simplify it like that, and that is the values of x. Two friends, Ojuang and David, live 40 kilometers apart. 40 kilometers apart. One day, Ojuang left his home at 9 a.m. and cycled towards David's house at an average speed of this. David left his house at 10 a.m. on the same day and cycled towards Ojuang's house. An average speed of 25. Determine the time taken for the two friends to meet. Time taken for the two friends to meet. So this is Ojuang and this is David. So David starts at 10:30 a.m. The speed is 25 kilometers per hour. The distance between them is 40 kilometers now. Ojuang alitoka hapa 9 a.m. na speed yake ni 15 kilometers per hour. 15 kilometers per hour. So kwanza David alianza saa 4. Kwa hivyo tunataka kuangalia time difference. So the time difference ni 10:30 minus 9. Tunaona kwamba kuna 1.5 hours ambayo Ochonyi alikuwa ametembea kabla amecycle kabla David aanze safari yake. So the time difference between them is this. So we want to see the distance covered by Ochonyi before David started. The distance covered by Ochonyi before David started. So distance covered by Ochonyi before David started will be equal to the speed times time taken. And that one is going to be 3/2, nimeconvert hii, itakuwa 3/2, yes, times speed yake ambayo ni 15. Tutapata kwamba atakuwa ameenda 22.5 kilometers before David starts. Now the distance remaining, so huyo ameshakava mpaka hapa, so Ojwang ako hapa, so the distance that is remaining wao watashare Ojwang ni hii. Hii ndio distance ambayo imebaki. Huyu akianza sasa, Ojwang atakuwa kwa hapa. Umeona? Kwa hivyo now the distance between them now itakuwa ni 40 minus 22.5. Na hiyo ni ngapi? Hiyo itakuwa 17.5 kilometers. So this is the distance they are going to share for them to meet. So they are going to meet somewhere here. Next, to find the time taken to meet, time taken to meet inapewa by distance between them. You divide by relative speed. How do you get relative speed? Kwa sababu wanakuja, huyu anakuja kutoka hapa na hapa, wanakuja commit, unaongeza individual speed, unapata relative speed. Because they are coming to meet, so you add relative speed. So that is now itakuwa 17.5 divided by, tukiongeza 15 plus 25 itakuwa 40. So relative speed ni 40 kilometers per hour. Na hii ni kilometers. So to really get the time, itakuwa ni 26 minutes. So they will take 26 minutes to meet. Take 26 minutes to meet. Time of the day when they meet the time, tunatumia ile ya mwenye alianza late. So David alianza 10:30 AM. Kwa hivyo tukiongezea 26 minutes yenye alispend kumeet, watakuwa wamemeet saa 4:56 AM. Watakuwa wamemeet 10:56 AM. In the figure below, the parallelogram, find the area. The area of a parallelogram is simply area inakuanga ni base times height. For a parallelogram, that is the formula for getting the area, right? But the height here, you should know a parallelogram, kama hapa ni 108, hapa ni 72, because they are adjacent, they must add up to 180. This is 108 and this is 72. So our height ni hii. So we are going to use, to get this h, we are going to use this angle, the angle. So how do you get h? You can do it somewhere here. You use SOHCAHTOA. So you can see this is a right angle triangle. So we have this h, we have this 8 here. So we are going to say sine theta equal to opposite, sine 72 now is equal to opposite, which is h, divided by hypotenuse, which is 8. So inamaanisha times 8 times 8. So h itakuwa nini? Itakuwa 8 sine 72. That one will give us the height. And that's what we need. So ukishafanya hivyo tunaleta hapa, tunasema base ni 12 times height tunashapata ni 8 sine 72, and this one will give us 91.3 centimeters square. So hapa katriki kalikuwa tu kutafuta the height using, urefaa uelewe that this angle they are adjacent and they add up to 180. So this and this 180, this and that 180, this and this they are equal, this and that they are equal. You need to understand those properties very well.